All right, GM, everyone, welcome in. It is the final week before the best ball fantasy football playoffs begin. I hope your advance rates are all looking very good. My advance rates are, honestly, I'm not complaining. Not complaining about what they look like. Weirdly, we do have teams on bye. I mean, that has got to be the weirdest thing about just sort of the whole fantasy football playoff experience right now is you could be having a pretty good advance rate right now, but there are real fantasy guys who are missing this week. So you've got Rico Dowdle as the advance rate piece missing for the Carolina Panthers. You have Trevion Henderson, Drake May, Kayshon Boutte, Hunter Henry missing for the New England Patriots. You have Jackson Dart missing for the New York Giants. Maybe the biggest guy missing this week is going to be Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey not playing this week. As of right now, Christian McCaffrey has a 37% advance rate, but you are not going to be getting Christian McCaffrey's points this week, which is just sort of interesting, right? And I mean, I suppose there is no strategy to be done with that. Like your guys are going to have their buys when they have them. I do think it's very interesting, though, that Christian McCaffrey's advance rate is 37% right now. I mean, it's going to end up being 30% or whatever. Wow, DC Fantasy says he has a Gibbs, JT, JSN that might not advance. That feels impossible. Gibbs, Taylor, and Jackson, Smith, and Jigba right now has a 92%. There's not that many of the teams. Yeah, probably no Amon-Ra St. Brown. Actually, I think we are going to end up seeing a large spike in advance rate for Jameson Williams this week. But let's go see if we can find a non-advancing. Okay, so we can't find the non-advancing. Wonder what the number one overall team in Best Ball Mania is. Let's go see the number. So this is, wow. How about this? Our boy Eagles, noted best ball grinder Eagles here, has a Fields and Goff. Wow. So he's got a 0 at quarterback going into the fantasy football playoffs. He's got Bijan Robinson. He's got Jonathan Taylor. He's got Tyrone Tracy, who is alive. Quinshon Judkins, who's very alive. Rico Dowdle and Chris Rodriguez. Who could doubt it? Who could doubt Chris Rodriguez? You know, far be it from me. And by that, I mean, I absolutely am doubting Chris Rodriguez. Jackson Smith and Jigba, George Pickens, Jameson Williams, Deebo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Troy Franklin, De'Ami Brown. It's very funny for De'Ami Brown to be in there. Mark Andrews, Jake Ferguson, and Zach Ertz. I believe my best team actually has De'Ami Brown on it. So here you go. I am currently advancing 23 of my 150 teams, which feels very good. I don't know. How many teams will Davis Mattek advance? It's a good question. It's a good question that I'm asking myself. Looks like I've got a bunch of 100%ers. This one is only 43%. So let's take a look here. It's got Mahomes, Genty, a 0 from Kamara, probably nothing from Tootin, probably nothing from Sampson, probably nothing from JCM, probably nothing from Tucker, and maybe nothing from Blake Corum. Does have Puka, does have Tet, who's not playing. Worthy, Igbuka. Oh, this is not even a particularly good team. How is this team advancing? I guess this team is advancing off the strength of how this must just be I guess maybe Wandale. The combination of Wandale and Igbuka is help propping it up. All right, this team is 28 points behind. It's a Dak Tua team with Bijan, Bucky, Warren, so it's going to have running back points. Tank, LOL, Woody Marks, Pickens, Waddle, Jacoby Myers, not dead yet. Jaden Reed, maybe back this week. Rashid Shaheed, Jack Best, Jalen Knoll, Trey McBride, David Njoku, Pat Frymore. So that one could get there. Brother, this guy stinks. My top advancing team has De'Ami Brown and Josh Reynolds. Well, ain't that something? Josh Reynolds. Was Josh Reynolds on the Broncos? I'm trying to even remember, how was Josh Reynolds even draftable? In the Drafters main $20 contest, Grex123 has the first and second place team. Well, shout out to Grex, bro. Yes. Remember when we were excited Shaheed got traded and he just kept being a zero. I mean, I guess that should have been one of the things we knew is that you're better off being a larger fish in a smaller pond, you know? Oh, that's right. The Jets. That's right. Josh Reynolds was on the Jets. All right. This team is here. Okay, here's a team that is 39% to get in per my boy PD. Dak and Gino, JT, Ken Walker, Pollard, Sampson, Brashard, Justice Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Xavier Worthy, Jacoby Myers. A lot of Jacoby Myers up here. Downs, Burden, Keenan, Pat Bryant, Wandale, Bowers, and Fannin. So maybe a Bowers team that could get through. Yes, as Eggers notes, nothing matters, man. Nothing matters. So I am 20. I'm 22 behind. I'm 22 points behind Tiger Mike. So we'll see if we can catch Tiger Mike. And I am 40 points ahead of WV Steel. So a lot of these are fairly close. A lot of 53 percenters, 45 percenters here. What's our lowest one? All right, this one is 3 points behind, but only 26% to get through. Purdy, Love, and Shuck. So 3 live quarterbacks here. Bijan Robinson and Bucky Irving and James Cook. James Cook in the nutted spot here. Tyrone Tracy, who might not play this week. Tank, round 18, JCM. Devontae Adams, Worthy, Pearsall, man. What a zero Pearsall has been. Diggs, Shaheed, Dante Thornton, Loveland, Zach Ertz, and Theo Johnson. How are your big boards going? You know what? Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at our old big boards because we're doing it, folks. This is the final. You know, I maybe we'll get someone to be a guest next week for the leaderboard show, but let's take a look at the big board and see what we've got cooking in there. Tracy def not playing unless he sneaks into another team's locker room. He's concussed, right? Wasn't that what it was? All right, I do have a team that is 218th in the big board. Let's take a look at this team. Goff, Love, and Tua, so 3 quarterbacks who are live. Gibbs and JT, Warren, Harvey, Brashard, and Keaton. So at least 6 running backs who are going to be active. JSN, Flowers, Pickens, Burden, Jacoby Myers, Dontavian Wicks, Savion Williams, Malik Washington, dead Tucker Kraft, but Harold Plannon and Mason Taylor. All right, so I'm advancing 34 teams, so that is just a hair under expectation. Frankly, I honestly would expect a lot of these teams to be very good. All right, here's a team that is 17 points behind, but PD does not give it very much of a chance to advance. Because why? I guess maybe one of these teams behind could chase me. I'm barely ahead of Run for Shelter. It doesn't have a quarterback is why. May is on bye, so I only have Shadur at quarterback. McCaffrey is on bye, so I have Genty, Chase Brown, James Cook at running back. We've got these wide receivers stink. Judy, Burden, Myers, Shaheed, Trey Harris, Leggett, Booty, Jalen Knoll, Moore, likely Hunter Henry, Jatavian Sanders. You know what? I haven't even checked. I don't even know what my let's really get into the weeds here because I've not even looked at my big board exposures. I wonder how we ended up doing in the end. Okay. Well, I drafted a lot of Purdy, and that ended up being pretty bad because Purdy basically missed the entirety of the season. Drafted a lot of Xavier Worthy. That ended up being pretty bad. Drafted a lot of Jordan Addison. That ended up being a disaster. Jordan Addison, just a stone cold fantasy football disaster. You could never like totally write him off because of the suspension. And then when he came back, he had basically the worst quarterback play in the NFL. Pearsall, disaster. Giddens, a disaster. Mims, a disaster. Harvey, a huge win, obviously, in the big board. RJ Harvey, one of the biggest wins in the big board. Burden, basically a disaster. Loveland, basically a disaster. Tootin, I'm obviously not going to call a disaster because a lot of these were going to be really cheap. LaQuint Allen, just didn't matter. David Njoku was a disaster. Hampton should have been a huge win, but wasn't. Burchard should have been a win, but wasn't. Fields was a win only in the big board because he was so inexpensive. Like, it was just so easy to get. What wasn't Justin Fields like the quarterback 20 in the big board for a huge stretch? Mason Taylor was definitely a big board win. Shaheed was definitely a big board win. Higgins was a big board win. People forget Higgins was like an 8th round pick. Higgins was like an 8th round pick in BBM, but he was super cheap in this. See, this actually is very wrong. I'm actually running really bad to only be advancing 23 teams because my big board teams don't have zeros. Your big board teams might have zeros, but my big board teams don't have zeros because I'm really good at this. Like, go through and look at my big board teams. My exposures might be bad, but I'm not wasting picks on guys who suck in the big board. That's basically my edge in the big board. Jennings ended up being a good pick. Damian Martinez, there's a zero. There's a zero. Damian Martinez not even able to make the Seahawks practice squad. JMO, big board win. Caleb Johnson, a loss. Javonte Williams, how about that? Javonte Williams, a big win. Look at that, bro. Javonte Williams, 15% Javonte Williams. Dontavian Wicks, a win. Hunter Henry, a win. It's funny, Devin Neal is going to backdoor into being a win. Devin Neal looked like one of the worst picks in the big board. He's going to end up being a starting running back down the stretch. Fannin, a big win. Hollywood, honestly, a big win. Hollywood's like the wide receiver 37 or something on the year. Downs is a loss. Tolbert is a loss. DJ Moore's a loss. Besh is a loss. I honestly don't remember. Do you guys remember what Rome Adunze's price was in the big board? I honestly have no memory of what it was. Io Manor, I think Io Manor probably didn't matter. Chase Brown didn't matter. Bo Nix, a win. Derek Carr, there you go. There's a loss. Jalen Royals, a loss. Waddle, Igbuka, Tet, they're all fine. Kendre, fine. He got hurt. Ollie Gordon ended up being a win. You know what, Goods? I did roast you, but I also listened to you. Because look at this, man. Javonte, where's Javonte at? This is 15% Javonte Williams is I have like no Javonte Williams at Best Ball Mania. So I listened to you on that one. JJ McCarthy. Wish I didn't have any of these. The big board, man. Juwan Johnson or Waller rest of the season. I mean, it's got to be Waller. Has to be Darren Waller. I don't even think that one's close. All right. It's a nice fun time in the big board. I wonder who's someone I like stone faded in the big board. Trey Harris. Shout out to my boy Jake Benniger on Trey Harris. Let's go look at the overall portfolio. Figure out how many teams I may or may not be advancing overall. So I drafted 1,700. What's that? 1,714 teams. And I'm advancing 289. That's actually I was going to say that's a lot more than like the last couple times I looked. I remember there was one week where I was advancing. Yeah. I was going to say, look at this. There was a time in here where I was advancing like no teams. Like, it was like depressing. It was like single digits at some point. Trey Harris is inevitable. That's what they're saying, bro. I don't know if I agree with them, but that is what they are saying. So just about average in Best Ball Mania, shade under average in the big board. I don't know what happened in these puppies. I got murdered in the puppy 1 and the puppy 2. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm new to best ball. What's a decent advance rate? Well, it depends on the contest, but if you are in a contest where 2 advance out of your pod, you want to be looking at a 16.7% advance rate. That's the average. That first clip of you seeing this for the first time, man, shout out to 5 of 150. I honestly have no, I guess I'd have to go look at some of my teams. What's my best team in the puppy one? Hurts and Dak, Gibbs and JT, Tootin, Ray Davis, Will Shipley, Roshan Johnson. That's a puppy ass running back room. Devonta, Judy, Pickens, Shaheed, Mims, Wandale, Kavonte Turpin, Travis Kelce, and Zach Ertz. I'm absolutely still drafting playoff teams before I know who is in it. What's your worst and best stance pick on the year? Well, my worst is definitely Xavier Worthy. What would be my best? What is my best? I don't know. There's got to be a way. Can I select all? There you go. I'll select all overall exposures. I mean, Hampton obviously would have been good if he didn't die. Jackson Dart was really good. I think I feel pretty good about that. 13% Jefferson, I don't feel very good. Jennings, I feel pretty good about. JMO, I feel pretty good about. Igbuka, I feel pretty good about. 13% Judkins feels good. 12% Pickens feels good. 12% Caleb Johnson does not feel very good, I tell you what. 11% Woody Marks should be good, but he sucks. The issue with Woody Marks is that he is just overall terrible. I believe, man, I just saw someone tweet a Woody Marks stat that it was like he's got over 15 touches in 4 straight games and is averaging 8.5 fantasy points. Remember saying every week that the Justin Jefferson running back start projects way better than the Bijan wide receiver start? Well, joke's on me. I did not know about Jonathan James McCarthy. This is honestly the stuff I did right was more fades. The stuff here, I can actually pull up the best ball bbmportfolio.com. This is from Best Ball Muse on Twitter. I was really light on Brian Thomas. I was really light on Jaden Daniels. Really light on Nico, really light on Mixon, really light on Kittle, really light on Hubbard. Just a lot of the shitters. A lot of the guys who were obviously going to be bad. I found a way to get off. I wonder how much Barkley do I have? 7% Barkley. Yeah. I just like. Oh no, the JCM hype actually was good, but that's a topic that no one is mature enough to understand. The JCM stuff, had Jaden Daniels not got injured, the JCM stuff was going to be good. Is JJ going to wake up during the playoffs? I mean, can the Minnesota Vikings bring Nick Mullins in? Is that possible? Can we get Nick Mullins in? What else in here? I mean, I have 8 to 10% of so many guys. Hey, Crutches, if we can get you in playing quarterback for the Vikings, I mean, send it to me, honestly. I would take anything at this point over Jonathan James. And I believed in Jonathan James. I really did. I honestly, the Jonathan James McCarthy stuff, I was there for it. This right here though is I do want to really specifically highlight this. So the 2 little Dalmatians, I don't know when they took place relative to each other, but it's not like I became an entirely different fantasy player between the little Dalmatian 1 and the little Dalmatian 2, but I want to show the exposures in this to show just how insane fantasy football can be. So these are my exposures in the little Dalmatian 1. I did 80% of Isaac Urendo, 58% Hampton, a bunch of Jaden, because remember, these are autoed, right? So Urendo 0, Hampton like functionally a 0 because he missed so much time. Jaden Blue a 0, Wandale a win, Bigsby a 0, Waller a win, Pearsall 0, Hunter 0, Jordan Mason effective 0, Miles Sanders 0, all that stuff, right? Well, a lot of Trey McBride, shout out to me for Trey McBride, but it's not even important because what I want to show you guys is the exposures are not that different, but I drafted 86% of Quinshon Judkins in this one, which is just a total accident. And it's not like I had a different auto draft process between the Little Dalmatian 1 and the Little Dalmatian 2. I literally did the same thing in both of them, which is I just put my ranks in and let it fly with like very little supervision. Yes, the Brian Robinson Jr. Trade did happen between the two. That's the worst I ran this year, I guess, because I really liked Christian McCaffrey. And I really liked Isaac Urendo as the running back too, but it turns out he's not the running back too because they did the trade. Yeah, Hampton obviously is you'd like him for the playoffs. All right. Well, Chip Skylark said the JCM drafters played band ran good. That's how I know that Chip has never learned anything about ball. And no one will ever learn anything about ball. It's almost like people in fantasy sports don't learn anything. GM. Chad is sitting there. Chad is in the Paris of the Midwest right now, getting himself very ready for the Dog Bowl this week. So one fine little board, one bad little board. Again, I don't really know why. Really good in multiples of the Pomeranians. How many? This is a good question. How many? Yes, the one I feel really bad about fading JSN because that's just like, dude, year 3 receiver. Sam Darnold was actually good the year before. Clint Kubiak calling the plays. Man, I feel really bad about being light on JSN. That one feels pretty self-evident. So I'm going to have 289 teams ish, between 270 and 290 ish or whatever. How many finals teams? I think I mean, here's a good question. If you had my portfolio, if you had all these teams, if you drafted 1,700 teams or whatever, would you just accept the normal, whatever expected rate of finals teams was? Or would you say I'll sacrifice everything to have one BBM finals team? I think I might honestly you're asking the wrong person to do math. I don't even know what the mathematical probability of one finals team would be. There is a really funny thing here though, that if you only select like the standard tournaments, so you take out all of the super flex, you take out the sprint, you take out the Badge Bros Brawl, and you take out the super flex. I believe they said in the Discord that I drafted the most teams on Underdog. If you only look. Yeah, I think I'd do this. I think I'd sacrifice it all for the BBM final over everything. I tend to agree with that. Man, shout out to Chris King advancing 87 Best Ball Mania teams. If you assume puppy advance rates 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10, and you had 289, then you expect 2.89. There we go. No, all right. They lied to me. They lied to me in the Discord. It doesn't look like I have them. Oh, well, you got to sort by. So sorting by advancing entries sure ain't gonna do it. So you got to sort by total entries. Yeah, bad. Yeah, who would even want to advance 33% of their teams? I only really want to get about 40 teams in there. As far as I know, there is no equivalent of Best Ball Mania database for DraftKings. Doesn't mean there isn't one, but as far as I know, I am unaware of it. There you go. So yes, if you sort on BBMDB by everything other than the sprint, the Badge Bros Brawl, and then the Superflex, yours truly drafted the most fantasy football teams on underdog.com. And I think I have the worst advance rate of all the sickos. My boy FF Link's killing it. Foxy Style killing it. Artillery Frost, who's hanging out here, also killing it. Tiger Woods with the 27%. Some of these guys are a little bit more in my neck of the woods. Gut, yeah, okay. I mean, it's not that bad. 17%. I've seen better. I've seen worse than it's not all bad for me out here. I think my computer might be freezing right now, or maybe BBMDB is freezing, or maybe something just died. 1,662 teams. That's what I spent my summer doing. And honestly, I mean, can you complain about spending your summer doing that? It was going to be my last summer left before having a child. I will say this. There's got to be a really, 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 really low chance that I am able to draft this many time. Like, how many teams am I going to be able to draft next year? 1,000, maybe 600. There is a user, Rumgood, who drafted 1,200 best ball teams and is currently advancing only 49 teams across contests. Wow. Honestly, yes, best ball summer is the best because every team is a winner then. I'll be drafting in the shower. It's true. I can't wait till my son is old enough for him to use promo code Davis on Underdog. All right, let's do some pocket watching. Let's go Chess Liam. Chess Liam is advancing 25% of his 363 teams. He's advancing 20% of his BBM teams. Wow, he is advancing 55 big board teams. That's pretty impressive, Liam. Shout out to Liam. Let's go Daily Rojo. Our boy Pat Crane, 1,037 teams. No one can ever say that he is not doing it for the love of the game. Right? I mean, Pat Crane is a fantasy football millionaire. He's advancing 24.6% of his teams, 21% in BBM. 52 teams. These guys are killing me in the big board. Yeah, big board is 3 of 12, but still they're killing me in that. I mean, you do got to love millionaire. You got to love Patty Millions maxing the puppy 2 and the puppy 3. You got to love it. Man, 49 entries in the puppy but super flex. Yeah, Pat jammed the slow drafts with the all right, let's check in on let's see what Shady Advice has cooking. Shady did 1,163 teams. He's advancing 23%. 38% of his teams in Best Ball Mania. 60 teams advancing in the big board. What a legend. What a legend, Shady Advice. Let's see what Dad Pete's doing. Peter Overzet is advancing 19% of his teams, 20% advance rate. Guy only did 30 teams in the big board. He did 5 teams in the Schnauzer, 15 teams in the Chow Chow. Dude, Pete didn't even do the flock command. He's not even in the flock community contest. 2 a.m. in the morning in Fort Lauderdale by the pool after the bar, and Pat's getting to his slow drafts. Yeah, Pete's too healthy, man. What is Mason's username? Is it Flock Fantasy? Is it Fantasy Flock? Is it just Flock? There you go. Is this Mason? 631 teams with a 24.2% advance rate, 33 advancing teams in Best Ball Mania, 38 advancing teams in the sprint. This is bbmdb.com. Shout out to Mason, man. 24% advance rate. Very, very nice. Advancing a team in the Mastiff. How's he doing in... Dude's shipping it in the Flock community contest too. And he was down bad for a little bit, but he's on the way back up. What is 61 big dogs is crazy work. 60 advancing 18% of his big dogs. What is Ron? It's Ron Stewart _. Is that Ron? Yeah, Ron Stewart _ 29 advancing teams in Best Ball Mania, 51 advancing teams in the big board. Yeah, what I don't know Spags' username. Is it just Splash Play? Husky, Pitbull, no big dogs for Ron. Ron a little bit. Ron only 464 teams too. Cullen said he stopped looking at his advance rates in week 6, waiting until the next week to check again. The suspense is killing me. All right, Chris Spags. Let's see what old Chris Spags has cooking up. Spags, 403 teams, 55 advancing. Oh, man, he's just running cold. Because he started out hot. Look, man, he was way above average. Trust me, happens to the best of us. Yes, this is the last regular season week on Underdog. Oh yeah, we gotta check. We gotta check Patrick Barnes' YouTube. Oh my God, Patrick Barnes' YouTube. This guy, my arch nemesis. 706 teams, 209 advancing. Only did 37 big board teams. No. Okay. All right. 26% advance rate in Best Ball Mania. Nerdy and Yuta definitely do not draft Best Ball. You go to the portfolio tab if you want to look at all teams regardless of the tournament. Oh yeah, what is Herzig's? I don't remember. Is it Jay Herzig or is it just Herzig? Herzig, is it Jay Herzig? I always forget. Justin Herzig. Justin Herzig with the 25% advance rate in Best Ball Mania, 652 teams, doing really well in the puppy but super flex. Yeah, see, you can tell that Herzig had a kid this year because he did not max enter any of the puppies. Got 27 entries in the sprint. I bet Leone is going to have a sick advance rate. Leone's going to be like 30% advance rate. Yep. 20. Oh, he only did 162 teams, but he is advancing 32 Best Ball Mania teams. He only did 5 entries in the sprint, 3 big dogs, 2 puppies, 1 puppy 3, 1 puppy 4. What a sicko. What a sicko, man. Leone, man. He tells everyone how to value the players, and then he only drafts Best Ball Mania. Pepper Prince is my friend. Dan Zach. Pepper Prince. Let's see how Dan's doing. 35% advance rate. 27% advance rate in the big dog. 38% advance rate in Best Ball Mania. Yeah, Nez is having a crazy year. I actually messaged Nez to see if he wanted to come on, but he was at the gym. Nez with the 28% advance rate or 32% advance rate in Best Ball Mania, 28% advance rate in the Badge Bros Brawl. Oh, dude, don't even get me started on Buster Boys. Every fucking sport I draft on Underdog, I'm in there with. What were Nez's exposures, bro? What, dude? All right. We are really pocket watching now. Nez drafted 25%, Jatavian Sanders 19%. He just drafted good teams. It's not even an exposure thing. Nez just drafted really good teams. He only has over 20% of one guy. A lot of JMO. But like, you know, he's got Mooney as a bust in here. He's got Fields, Jonnu, Debo as busts in here. Aaron Jones as a bust. Najee as a bust. Byshell Tootin as a bust. Matthew Golden as a bust. Guy just drafts good teams. Yes, Pepper Prince, Dan Zach is a poker player. Very, very good poker player. Debo is definitely a bust, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. Debo Samuel, what do we think the last time Debo Samuel got a 15-point game was? 2025 fantasy points. Debo Samuel, amongst all wide receivers in half PPR, has scored the 21st most points. He has topped 8 points. No, he's topped 10 points once since week 5. No, they didn't rig the pods. He just drafts good teams, man. He has good exposures. He has good roster construction. Yeah, Debo. It is what it is. Debo is definitely a bust, and it's unfortunate because it's not even really his fault. He didn't make Jaden Daniels get injured. All right, let's look at Roto Run. Let's look at our boy. I know he's got a lot of scataboo. My boy John. 383 teams, 26% advance rate, 26% advance rate in BBM. Of course, had to get in the Badge Bros Brawl. Shout out to my boy. They're gonna kill him. They're gonna kill him, Jordan. That's my guy. Oh man, is Neil? All right. I really hope Neil's having a good year. Player Q DFS. My boy Neil. Is it Player Q DFS _ or is it just Player Q? There you go. Player Q, 19% advance rate for Neil. Above average in Best Ball Mania. That's all that counts. Yeah, where is Pepper Tony, man? Pepper Tony, where you at, bro? Where's Pepper Tony, man? He hasn't been here. He hasn't been here yet this week. Pepper Tony. 14% advance rate. I bet he's got so much Derrick Henry. Rostered players, Derrick Henry. Yep, that's a lot of Derrick Henry, bro. Oh, yeah, last year's winner, L Grew 050. L Grew 050. Did I misspell it? I mean, I talked to Liam maybe 2 weeks ago, and he said that he is he's just teaching chess, bro. He's just living his truth. Elgrew 50 drafted 654 teams. I tell you what, man, if I shipped Best Ball Mania, I would max enter every contest. I would have 5,000 teams. However many teams is possible, I would have so many. Our boy Elgrew, only same advance rate as me. 23 teams in Best Ball Mania. And he's expected to pick up a point this week. We looked at Pete. The sad thing about Pete is too healthy. Pete spends too much time touching grass to get in the weeds with us. That's how, yes, perfectly average. Everything is perfectly balanced, bro. Well, yes, but you forget that if I win $2 million playing fantasy sports, I'm not going to, I love you guys, but I'm not going to be doing 47 hours of video fantasy football content per week if I have $1 million in the bank. I'll be living my truth out there. I'll be hanging out with my son. I'll be hiring a night nurse. I'll be hiring a babysitter so I can go golf. Yes, Chris, big game versus Brighton today. For Aston Villa Football Club. Doesn't really get much bigger, actually. Who is the guy the first week of the best ball playoffs that will break the slate and be needed to advance? Let's take a look. Week 15 NFL schedule. All right. Falcons, Bucks, Ravens, Bengals, Raiders, Eagles, Cardinals, Texans, Chargers, Chiefs. Rashee Rice will be big. Trevion Henderson and Ramondre will be big here. Jets, Jaguars. Could be ETN here. That game will suck. Panthers, Saints will suck. Lions, Rams could be massive. Lions, Rams could be huge. You could see JMO or Gibbs or whatever being the guy you need there. Colts, Seahawks could be. That's probably more of a defensive battle. Titans, 49. It could be McCaffrey. Honestly, it could just be McCaffrey against the Titans. Right? Couldn't it just be McCaffrey against the Titans? I wish I meant Tootin. I mean Tootin could score twice, I guess. I'd be happy to see him score twice. Yeah, Lions Rams definitely seems OP. Don't think what's Jonathan Taylor? What is Jonathan Taylor going to project for on Run the Sims against the Seahawks? He's going to project for like 18 points or something. It's not going to be that good. Could be A-Chain against the Steelers in week 15. Could definitely be that. Here, let's see if I can pull up some of my DraftKings teams. It's kind of hard to do. But we can try and see. Jalen Warren losing the passing down work to Gainwell is not great for him. All right. So I don't know how to do this math, but so on BBM, I'm in the DK Millie. I'm advancing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a $3. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. No. Oh, some of these are not advancing. Some of them. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Crutches. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 teams. 26 teams on DraftKings. Let's look at my highest scoring team. Got one team above 2,000 points on DraftKings. So there we go. Highest scoring team is Dak Prescott with Kyle Monangai, Christian McCaffrey, A.D. Mitchell, Devontae Adams, George Pickens, Brock Bowers, Tyler Algier, The Plannin, Quentin Johnston, Caleb Williams, Burden, Waddle, Pollard, Loveland, Pacheco, Moore, Anthony Richardson, Justice Hill, and shout out to me for drafting a Deontay Johnson team. You know, I honestly it's a little disappointing to not be that far above average on DraftKings, but it's probably fine. And it looks like I have some teams that are maybe kind of close. Like here's a team that's in fourth. How far is it in fourth by? Yeah, it's in fourth by 6 points. So this one could be an advance. Goff, Swift, Nick Chubb, J-Mo, Wicks. Wow, a Wicks team. How about that? A Wicks team. Olave, McBride, Pitts, Nix, Daniel Dimes, Hollywood, Tootin, Igbuka, Pat Bryant, Barkley, Gadsden, T. Higgins, Rip Travis Hunter, Rip J.K. Dobbins, Rip Miles Sanders. So it looks like I could end up advancing like a kind of fun amount of DraftKings teams. Because some of these, I'm sure some of these, like these 1,700, these 1,800 ones, these could maybe get through. Where does Wicks go next year? I mean, pretty late, right? Yeah, I drafted a lot of Luther Burden on DraftKings. He was very inexpensive on DraftKings. So there you go, boys. I mean, that is, I think, a nice deep look at let's actually take one more look at the overall portfolio, because I think this is like, what did I learn from how I drafted this year? Because I did draft so differently this year compared to last year. Is there a way for me to pull up my exposures? I guess there's not a tool. You know what? We're gonna get into the weeds. I'm gonna go log in on Underdog, and I'm gonna go find my 2024 season exposures, results, drafts. This is gonna take a while, but we're gonna do it because I'm very curious to look at the exposures next to each other. So this is 1,714 total drafts this year. Let me see how long it takes to scroll on Underdog to get to my exposures from last year. Advancing 67 Javonte teams. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I guess Wicks could have a Gabe Davis-like playoff game. Here's a good one. Where do you guys think Matthew Golden will go next year? Matthew Golden with 0 touchdowns this year, but like a legitimate first-round pick, dude. I mean, it is kind of crazy. Okay. Ooh, nope. Didn't mean to do that. Here we go. So somewhere in here, 2024 season, do you go 2024? You don't go, I don't want 9 drafts. I want 2024 798 drafts. No, I want, is this it? I guess this would be it. Is this all? I only did 798. I guess this might be it. So my exposures last year, 37% of Xavier Worthy, 30% of Chase Brown, 27% of Dontavian Wicks, $2,392 worth of Rashee Rice, 26. Dude, this is so fucking tilting. These exposures would be other than Worthy. I mean, these, like, if you had Wicks and Rice at these percentages this year, you're winning everything. A lot of Jefferson, a lot of Bowers, a lot of A-Chain. Look at that. I had 20% of Rico Dowdle last year. I had fucking 20% of Rico Dowdle last year. I had 20% Drake May last year. 16% Roma Dunze. Oh, 16% Jalen Polk. That's so funny. 15% of Fields. A lot of Blake Corum. Oh, God, dude. This is it's so funny. But I mean, I drafted, okay, so last year, I had what? How many guys? And let me just check by, let's just do $25. So let's just do for Best Ball Mania. So just in Best Ball Mania, Worthy, Warren, Chase Brown, Hollywood, Wicks, Rice, Corum, DJ Moore, Rico Dowdle, Braylon Allen, a lot of Noah Fant. I don't really remember what was going on there. A lot of Mahomes, a lot of Jermaine Burton. Yeah, Audric Estime, rip. Yeah, Golden, I think you're probably right. I think Golden probably does stink. But just, I mean, obviously just like a lot flatter this year. Worthy, obviously my most drafted player both years, but the only guy I have over 20% of my whole portfolio is Worthy. Honestly feels like running pretty bad with Hampton with the ankle injury. Even with Dubs probably gone, the top 3 Packers wide receivers are Watson, Reed, Wicks. Yeah, no, you're almost certainly correct about that. Dart, I would definitely do again. I don't know. What did I learn? Let's go look at the advancement leaders. Let's go look at the guy who is advancing. So let's go Chris King 13, and I'd like to look at Chris King 13's exposures. Select tournaments. All right. Chris King 13. He has 56% Juwan Johnson. He's got 54% Bryce Young, 50% Zach Ertz, 36% Jonathan Taylor. I mean, Khalil Shakir a 0, Christian Kirk a 0, Devonta Smith is fine, Pearsall is a 0, Hunt a big win. So this guy really nailed Kareem Hunt as the secondary running back on the, or I guess the starting running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. Wandale a win, Lockett a loss. Rome, I think you honestly have to say, is a loss. Stroud has been a loss. Has Lawrence been a loss? Would you guys say Lawrence has been a loss? Particularly because the guys you stacked Trevor Lawrence with would have been big losses. Like Brian Thomas Jr. has been a loss. Hunter's been a loss. De'Ami Brown has been a loss. Strange has probably been a loss because he missed so much time with injury. I guess it does just go to show. You can kind of draft whoever you. I mean, Brandon Ayuk, hilarious 0. Tua has definitely been a loss. Not that it really matters. J.K. Dobbins, whatever. I mean, Najee Harris. Like this guy's. Like I guess the point I'm making is this guy's exposure. Not really that good. I wonder what his special sauce is. I mean, he might just be. I wonder if he. Maybe he's a big 3 quarterback, 3 tight end guy. I don't know. Yeah, Lawrence himself has been fine for his price, but I think the way you were constructing Trevor Lawrence lineups probably likely to leave you as I mean, we can go look it up. Trevor Lawrence. So Trevor Lawrence himself is an 11% advance rate, but if you remove Michael Thomas, no, not Michael Thomas, if you remove Brian Thomas, then his advance rate goes to 17%. If you remove Travis Hunter, I bet it goes even higher. Yeah, 17,000 teams without BTJ and without Travis Hunter, and he has a 20% advance rate. Yeah, I mean, he did draft a lot of Jonathan Taylor teams, but it's not just that, because he's advancing like 80 some teams or whatever. So he's advancing way more teams. Yeah, I think that I think drafting 85% 3 quarterback teams is totally legitimate for next year. Man, it does go to show how sensitive that stuff is, though. I wonder. I didn't draft very much Trevor. I didn't draft very much Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas. I drafted him. How many times? I drafted him 6 times, and I'm advancing none of them. Not even close. I guess ETN with Trevor would be a really positive advance rate guy. Wonder what the best Brian Thomas Jr. advancing team is. D Roddy 313 has 1,767 points with Brian Thomas Jr. It's a Bo Nix, Bryce Young team with James Cook, RJ Harvey, DeAndre Swift, Travis Etienne Jr., Rico Dowdle, and Jarquez Hunter. Brian Thomas Jr., Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, Rome Odunze, George Pickens, Marvin Mims, Tucker Kraft, and Jatavian Sanders with Dalton Schultz. Avoiding landmines. Oh, yeah. I mean, here you go. So let's just... so if we avoid Barkley, Jefferson, Brian Thomas Jr., you get to what? I mean, it's going to be a pretty big advance rate. Has a lot of 4 quarterback teams. I wonder if he learned from fast puppy winner Raymond Zanny. So this is actually a neat thing about 3 quarterback teams. Brady says, feels like this year 3 quarterback is looking good because Danny Dimes was around 18 staple all summer until he was given the job. The neat thing about 3 quarterback teams is it also does give you extra exposure to guys like Daniel Dimes, guys like Sam Darnold, just because there's not enough quarterbacks to go around. Looks like a 19.3% advance rate if you avoid those 3. And that can't be right? That can't be. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's right. What is the Caleb advance rate? Caleb Williams. I bet it's going to be really close to neutral. Caleb Williams, 22%. And if you remove DJ Moore, it's still 22.9%. Yeah, years where late round picks in a position smash, quantity over quality will smash. Yeah, Anthony Richardson. Let's do our list of guys you don't want to see on a postseason team. So you definitely don't want Brandon Ayuk. You don't want Joe Mixon. You don't want Malik Neighbors. You don't want James Conner. You don't want Caleb Johnson. Who else do you not want? Yes, Austin Eckler. You don't want Laporta. Who else? Any Viking. So let's just I'm going to filter by JJ McCarthy because if you are somehow advancing a Justin Jefferson team, it's probably amazing. Kraft, Kamara. Yeah, definitely Kamara. Tyreek is a good one. Out for the year. Scadaboo, sadly, out for the season. Let's try and only run this once so we don't break. Yes, Dobbins. You definitely don't want Xavier Worthy, but if you turned it over, and you had him on a team, you'd be like, well, at least the team is really good, right? At least the team's very good without him. Jaden Blue. I don't think Garrett Wilson counts because Garrett Wilson, I think, is gonna come back. Yeah. Penix. Yeah, Penix is a good one. Michael Penix. Yeah, Scadaboo is late enough that he probably is going to advance some really good teams. Mike Evans, I think, is coming back. Yes, Braylon Allen and Najee Harris. Braylon Allen and Najee Harris. Forgot about Najee. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's probably like it's not exactly the point of the exercise to exclude the late round picks, but it'll at least find us some unbelievably sick teams. Like whenever we pull it over, we're gonna be like, wow, that is really gnarly. Debo's still playing. Kyler out for the year. Although Kyler is going to be paired a ton with McBride, so you probably are advancing some good Kyler Murray teams. De'Ami Brown was like 85% drafted. So we have Ayuk, Mixon, Neighbors, Connor, Caleb Johnson, Austin Eckler, Sam Laporta, JJ McCarthy, Tucker Kraft, Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill, Cam Scadaboo, J.K. Dobbins, Travis Hunter, Jaden Blue, Michael Penix, Braylon Allen, Najee Harris, and Kyler Murray. Yeah, at some point, the picks are also self-selecting. The teams with injured players are unlikely to score high anyway. No, Tank was too cheap. I don't think Debo is a smash player this year. I mean, he's been fine. Don't think you'd obviously love to have him. Shipley doesn't matter. Yeah. All right. We'll remove JJ McCarthy. I'll remove JJ McCarthy. Okay. Golden, you definitely don't want to see. Oh, God damn it. What did I do? Did I just click the X? Ugh. Okay. All right. Joe Mixon, James Conner. Brennan Ayuk. Neighbors. Ugh. Laporta. That's so annoying. See, you guys got me frazzled. Jaden Reed's coming back. I am gonna put I'm gonna put Golden on this list just because Matthew Golden tilts me in particular. Matthew Golden. Shipley, I'm not doing. Tank Bigsby, I'm not doing. Debo, I'm not doing. Eckler, got to be on here. Eckler with the torn Achilles. Tyreek Hill. Tucker Kraft. Miles Sanders. Yeah, Miles Sanders is a good one. Calvin Ridley. Thank you. Calvin Ridley. Dobbins. Travis Hunter. Scattaboo. All right. Najee. Golden is on this list, Crutches, because I hate him. Because I hate him. That's why. Kamara. Braylon. Neighbors is on there. Yes. I mean, Lamar, whatever. If you advance the Lamar team and he miraculously got healthy, you'd be happy to see him. All right, we're gonna run it with Mixon, Connor, Ayuk, Neighbors, Laporta, Golden, Eckler, Tyreek, Tucker Kraft, Miles Sanders, Calvin Ridley, J.K. Dobbins, Travis Hunter, Cam Scatterboot, Najee Harris, Alvin Kamara, Braylon Allen. Wow, I Was Good's #1 channel on YouTube Wrapped. Shout out to Goods. Shout out to Goods, by the way. Golden is a Dennis Allen putting a healthy Kendre Miller on IR situation. Correct. That is exactly what's happening. I'm not stoked about it. And then I'd like to find my teams that meet this criterion. Wow, I only have 29 teams, period, that don't have any of these losers. And 2 of them are close. All right, let's find. Okay, so Dak, Caleb, JT, Bucky, DeAndre Swift, Dylan Sampson, JCM, Manungai, Lamb, Pickens, Moore, Olave, Christian Kirk, LOL, Keenan Allen, De'Ami Brown, LOL, Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, Jatavian Sanders. Let's see if any of these. This team is 39%. Dak and Gino, JT, Ken Walker. Man, I hope some of these get close. Mike Evans is coming back. I don't think you love to see Thielen on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think you're super jazzed about that. All right, this team I drafted on August 11th. It's one of the worst teams in Best Ball Mania, and it doesn't have any injuries. Lamar and JJ McCarthy, Bijan and Brees, 10 points on the year from Tank, 0 points on the year from Guerrero, 10 points from Keaton Mitchell. T. Higgins, Terry McLaurin, Juwan Jennings, Jordan Addison, Rashid Shaheed, Rashad Bateman, Darius Slayton, Dontavian Wicks, Mark Andrews, Brenton Strange, and Theo Johnson. I don't know, man. I don't know. How did we ever draft this team? It's one of those teams you look at and you're like, how did you ever think this was going to get there? What can you do? All right, boys. I got some stuff to get done around the house. I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back with all of you guys tomorrow with Jacob Sanderson for Thinking About DFS. So see you guys then. Make sure that you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Later, everybody.